evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. From the Predator Arena here at the Rio Hotel in Las Vegas, this is the CSI Invitational 8-Ball Championships. This is still continuing round-robin play. This is the second half of Group B, played in the final round-robin match of the event. And at this time, it's going to be my pleasure to introduce our two competitors to you right now. Our first player from Taiwan, former Beijing Open champion, former All Japan Open champion, silver medalist in the 2013 World Games, and he's the 2012 World 8-Ball champion. He's sponsored by Cyclops. He's representing Taiwan Typhoon. Would you please welcome Chang Lin? Thank you. His opponent from Trinity, Florida. He's a former Super Billiards Expo champion. He's a former Billiards Digest Player of the Year. He's the 2013 Derby City One Pocket champion, and he is the reigning U.S. Bar Table 8-Ball champion. He's sponsored by OB, by the Universal Pool League, and by Diamond Billiards from Cape Coral, Florida. Would you kindly welcome the Prince of Pool, it's Deuel. Okay, gentlemen, good luck. Race to 9, alternate break. The referee for both matches is Mark Finn.
Well, we got another, I sound like a broken record, but we got another great match coming up. Deuel and Chang. I don't know. This is another pick'em match. I don't have a favorite here. I don't know. These balls. What's the chance of this happening? What is the chance of this happening? All these balls crowded. 3, 6 stripes on this side of the table. I don't know what he's doing. Well, that turned out sweet. I like watching him play one pocket. He's creative. You know, he got all kind of trick shots up his sleeve. Oh, he does, yeah. No, he does. I agree. But his one pocket's real creative. I mean, he really knows all kind of different goofy shots, you know. Yeah. Well, that was a nice out. I didn't think he was going to get there. Had all them balls jammed up on the side of the rail. He made a hell of a out. 1-0 for the Prince. One nothing. Corey Deuel. Well, he made a stripe, and I believe he's going to keep him. He'll just shoot the 14 here in and go into the 9-5 and get that loose. Got to hit it fairly hard to come out of there with the cue ball. I try to hit the 5. I try to go into the 5 here, or you know. He's got the perfect opportunity to go into it from here, and all the other balls are hanging. If he can go into the 5 here and get a shot right away on the 9, he'll shoot the 9 and just draw back down there, and you got the other 4 balls hanging in the pocket. No, he should have hit that ball hard. You know, sometimes people think, you know, because you're a pro, you shoot these balls and just tiki them. Listen, sometimes play ball, you gotta hit them balls and move them. You know what I'm saying? He should have hit that ball pretty hard, knocked it off the rail. The cue ball spinning down there to get one of them other balls. You can't just be like ticking a ball thinking you're going to get straight in. I'd have hit this ball. I'd have shot that ball hard. I mean.
Well, we saw examples of that very much in the last match with Young Ko, letting up on his stroke several times too.
Three
remember?
Different times, three shots in a row. He let up on his stroke, and darn near didn't get out.
And that's mental, because you've got to make the mental commitment.
But he just hit this
to hit
ball
the shot
too
the
easy.
way, yeah. Hit the shot the way that you intended to.
Now I think he's tied up the 15 down there.
Yeah, it sort of looks like he did, but the 10 will help him open it. But right now, he can only shoot the 12, I think, which is the hanger up there by the 4-ball.
He's got a pretty bad problem here, because if he shoots the 12 and does shoot the 10 and don't open those two balls in, he's really in trouble.
I'm trying to see if he could hit the 12 thick enough
and
with
go
low
into it
right
now.
and go into it now.
That's
But
what I
I
would
think
do.
the 4 has half the ball blocked.
Yeah, he can't hit it fat enough.
Right.
You gotta
Right.
hit
Now, there was only one other thing that I thought he could do, and this is really out there, Bobby. You hit the 10 into the short rail, it opens up the 14-8, and you billiard the 12. And just pray something stays down there or the cue ball comes out. You see the shot I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
It's you know, it's
If
I
I
mean,
was
it's a flyer.
If I was going to do that, I would bank the 10 into the 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
Yeah.
Bank the 10 into the 2 balls, open them up, and billiard the 12.
No, I see the shot, and that's all he's got.
No, I think
I wonder if
he's cutting this in.
I don't-
See, well, by moving the 4 now, he has a better chance to open these 2 up.
It's still hard from here.
And he's still got to get the 9 too. And you better shoot the 9 right now while he can see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that means that
It's easier to hit the ball.
Yeah.
It's easier to come into those balls too.
Yeah, but if he shoots the 9, he's almost got to come forward with the cue ball. He can't draw into that pile of
He can
solids.
kill that ball with a lot of low right. Can he just
You
spin
think
it?
so?
I think he can spin it in and stop on the
Yeah,
rail.
but if you're going to play the 12 to open up the 14-8, you don't want to be 8 feet away from it.
I think he's going to just kill his ball here. That's what I think.
Well, you know what?
If he goes out in the center,
yeah.
it even makes it harder to.
Yeah, it does. And if he pulls it off the rail 5-6 inches, he could actually go rail first into the 12 to open them up. 2 rails. If he opens them up now, he's putting the whole game on getting a shot on the 15.
Yeah, I don't.
So
like
I
it.
don't like it either. No, I think you got to do this. You know, if he could graze the 5 coming back, he could get down table a bit.
I think he's going to kill his ball just like this.
Yeah, I think you
See,
were
that's
right.
a hanger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now he can do this either way. He can go rail first, or he can just hit it with low right, hit about 3/4 of the 12 ball.
Hit it fat and go right into it.
Right into the 14
And
on the
hope
outside.
And hope it gets a shot. Yep, that's what I
How
would
many
do.
times have you seen this happen? The guy executes it, he grazes the 14, the 8 goes to the rail, comes right back out and remarries the 14.
Yeah. No, that's no good. That wasn't even. That wasn't.
He didn't even threaten it.
No.
He didn't even
I would have
threaten
went.
it.
I'd have hit it fat on the outside, made sure fat.
Of course.
On the left side.
Of course.
You know?
You've got to give yourself, I mean, going at that ball, you've got almost a 7-inch circle to hit that ball.
Yeah.
You know? And he went way wide. So he didn't hit the 12 well at all. He's called it one rail back, straight back. I don't know how the heck he's going to do that, unless there's a gap.
Go this way?
Yeah.
It don't go.
Yeah, it don't go.
This ball does not go by the 8. This ball doesn't go. Oh, look.
Yeah, right.
Oh, but look
yeah,
at this.
he lost the game. That's lost the game. He made the 8.
Boy, that's cold-blooded. You know, he was actually trying to move the 8 to where the ball would go, and he got unlucky and the 8 fell. That's pretty brutal.
I bet if you set that up again, he couldn't do it in 50 tries. No.
Yeah,
I mean, that was something, huh?
Yeah, it was brutal for that ball to fall, the 8.
Yeah, but he did it to himself. I mean, you know, not breaking him up open off the 12, which is something that someone of his caliber should be able to do on a fairly consistent basis.
So this match with Efren over there, that's just
It's
a money match.
it's worth 250 bonus dollars
What
to
about
the winner. But
what's this match doing here?
nothing. The group's all settled. Torsten won the group already. No one can get there because both these guys are 1-1. So the winner's going to be 2-1. But Torsten beat both these guys. So if for some reason Efren beats Torsten, and there's 3 guys, and one of these guys will be 2-1 and tied with Torsten, he wins the tiebreaker head-to-head.
So neither one of these matches matters.
These are, as far as winning the group, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
They only matter in final placement in the
money.
5th through 16th position. And an extra $250 because it's the 3rd match of the round robin.
I got you.
But it has no bearing on the semifinals. Torsten's already there. And of course, we already know that because Young Ko just knocked off Mike, and the winner of that was going to win Group A. Ko Ping Chung, younger brother, is again in the semifinals. And his brother is still alive in the other groups, C and D.
So Baby Ko's in already?
Baby Ko is in, and so is Torsten. Those are the from A and B.
And tomorrow we'll have the
C and D groups play tomorrow at 11 and at 1, and that's going to give us our next 2 semifinalists.
Right.
But those 2 groups are very much up in the air right now.
Who's the first TV match tomorrow? Do you know?
Yeah, I do know. It's Shane Van Moning and Kevin Chang.
I like Shane in that match.
But the other table's got Ralph and Dennis, and all 4 guys are 1-1. So it's going to come down to tiebreakers because 2 guys are going to be 2-1 and 2 guys are going to be 1-2 when it's all over. So it's all going to be a question of who are the 2 guys that are 2-1 and how'd they fare against each other.
Yeah. Yes.
Some have said it's a harsh criteria to break the tie that way when you're only playing 3 matches, and I can see the argument for that. However, that's the way the organizers had set it up. Everybody knew about it before they came here, and that's the way it has to be played. Whether they will consider other options for next year, should we have this type of a format or any type of round robin action, I think they'd be open to hearing some different options, maybe just going by total games won and given up, etc., where every game is important, as they are here. But the game differential thing here is like the 3rd level tiebreaker after total record and then head-to-head. But nevertheless, it is what it is for this year. And it doesn't mean it's, well, it maybe takes, I'm just being completely honest here, it takes a little bit of the excitement away from like what we're watching here. We're watching 2 great players on 2 tables playing each other for essentially not a whole lot of incentive. Not that they're not trying, because they're pros and they have pride. But from a drama standpoint and a suspense standpoint, there isn't any in this particular 3rd round robin match. But I'm sure that's all stuff that the CSI management is now well aware of, and one thing I can say about CSI, I've worked with them for a long time now. They are open to listening, and if an idea or a suggestion is made that has merit and it's worthwhile, they're not afraid to adopt it. other table is 2-1 in favor of Torsten over Efren. Efren's at the table. And this is about to be 2-1 here for Corey. If Chang Lin can put down the 8-ball. Don't let up on your stroke on this one either. Good shot. 2-2, 2-1, excuse me, 2-1. I still think we'll be out of here by 9, Bobby. These matches are going to go quick because there, like I said, there's not a whole lot at stake. So what might Okay, we are back. You're watching Corey rack 'em up. Getting ready to, excuse me, it's not Corey's break, it's Chang Lin's break. 2-1. Hit those great. Balls are still dropping. Cue ball in the middle of the table. Three balls down. Both groups are appealing. I think the 8 is blocked in both corner pockets, so whichever group he takes will give him only one corner. I kind of like starting with the deuce here, playing the solids. Leaving the 6 and 7 maybe for the very end. Take care of your business down there, but he may do it the other way here. Yeah, he's just going to leave the 7 ball for the key ball, I think. Well, maybe he's going to shoot it now. It does keep your cue ball travel minimized. Looks like around the 13. And 1-3-2-5 or 1-3-5-2, either way. Probably like the 5 to get on the 8, so it's a one rail shot, you know, just into the side rail and spin at the 8, where if it's used the 2, you're coming across, so I think you'll play the 2 next. Just stay in the middle of the table for the 5. Right about there for the 5 will be picture perfect. And that's where he got. All right, both tables are racking. Torsten 3-1 over Efren. 2-2 here. Corey's break. It has been a lot of fun watching the pros play 8-ball. It's so, as we've talked, infrequent that they play in any type of an 8-ball tournament. other than the U.S. bar table, which in itself has grown into an extremely prestigious and highly attended event over the last 4 or 5 years, especially since it was taken over by CSI and directed by Bad Boys. And always a tough field. Like I said, Corey won the 8-ball division this year. He had to beat out 220-odd players in playing 8-ball race to 5 on a bar box double elimination. And it was a well-earned title. He beat Dynamite Darren 2 sets in the final. Darren coming from the left side, but he beat Corey in the first set, and then Corey beat him in the second. But it showcases so many different skills and abilities that we don't often get to see in rotation games. And, you know, once or twice a year we get to watch straight pool, but 8-ball, I think, is the purest game. It's the game just about every one of us that play pool started with. It's the simplest of games to understand. The rules are no longer very complicated. And it's just an all-around great pool game. So I'm really happy that at least we've had a chance to showcase it, and hopefully we'll do more of it in the future. Last year's U.S. Open 8-ball was a treat just as well, but having the creme de la creme here makes it even more special. Well, made a good shot, got a bad bump on the 5. If it bumped it up the table a little bit, he'd be able to shoot the 10 and come down here for the other stripes. Now he's got only the 10 ball to play. I don't think it banks. It's almost really tough to think about cutting it in the side and coming 3 rails. I don't think that's a possibility. He's banking it cross side. He's going to try to keep the cue ball right around where the 10 is. Maybe even run into the 4 or just stick there, and then he's have the stripe behind the 8 to shoot if he makes it. Good shot. Ooh, a little long. Needed a little more speed. Didn't quite shorten up on him the way he thought, or he didn't hit it firm enough. And Chang Lin now with an opportunity on the solids. The 3 being the only ball that he'll need to work to get shape on, and the 1 will get him there. He's going to have a peek at it now, I think. And I like the fact that this gentleman does take a lap or 2 around the table most of the time and just get a visual on where he needs to be and how he wants to go about taking the balls off. Meanwhile, on table 2, another rack for Toasty, and he's now 4-1 up on the Magician. Sadly enough, it just hasn't been Efren's week. He's had a lot of uncharacteristic flaws that we're certainly not used to seeing. I do think we need to be realistic again about the fact that he's near 60 years old. He doesn't play that much tournament pool anymore. And even though maybe he's playing every day back home, it's not at this level. And you just can't you can't stay mentally hardened. And I also think there might be a bit of a stamina issue. Even though we're not playing a lot of matches each day, the days are long. But I'd rather watch Efren play bad than not watch Efren at all. Well, he wanted more angle here. I mean, less angle here, of course, to float for the 3. Now, at best, he might be able to hold the cue ball a little bit near the 1 to pull it to the right, play the 5, and try to come 3 rails. But the 4 is big if he tries to do that, and the 5 plays tough. His only other chance really is to pull over for the 4 and then play it and draw back 1 rail diagonally across for the 3. But being out of line here is certainly giving him a lot of trouble. He's got such a small window there to get to that 3, as you can see by this camera shot. Yeah, he tried to cheat the pocket and he missed the ball. Tried to hit it right into the facing of the inside jaw. Nothing wrong with that attempt, other than it failed in execution. Corey's still got a 2-ball cluster there that he's got to open up. I don't think it plays in the left corner as a combination, but now he's obviously got enough room now to make the 15, and even if he grazes the 13 beforehand, it's certainly no foul. They're both stripes. Got to bump the 13 into a position where it goes, unless he can just snap it back. Yep, good shot. Corey's been playing with that same cue for at least 10 years that I know of, maybe even longer. But I saw him use that cue at the IPT, and that was at least 8 years ago. It's a beautiful cue. It's wrapless too, by the way. Bobby, what's your opinion of a wrapless cue? Do you like
I love it.
Do you like a wrapless cue?
I love it.
Yeah, do you?
Reason
Feel like an old one-piece cue? Just get that feel.
Well, you know, I have the same cue I've had for like since '74. I have a Billy Stroud.
Billy Stroud,
Johnson,
right? You have a
and it
Johnson.
has Irish linen, but it's old. It still looks good, but it's kind of tacky a little bit.
Well, sure.
I don't like that new Irish linen where your cue's slipping
It's slippy.
all around.
It's too slippery.
Too slippery.
Right.
Where you get the cue with no wrap, you know, you don't have to worry about the cue slipping back and forth or a leather wrap.
So what you're essentially saying is your Irish linen wrap is so worn in after years and years and years, it's got a little tackiness to it.
A little bit, because it's kind of dirty.
Right. Well, that's what makes it tacky like that. Yeah, you have your wrap cleaned, it's going to be slippery.
Yeah, which I don't like.
Right.
I can't stand it.
I actually had on my Timmy Scruggs, which, you know, after 10 years or so, it probably, like yours, dirty and tacky and all that.
Do you have Irish linen on yours?
Yeah, I've actually got the good stuff. I think it's Cortland.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, a couple of years ago, I brought it to the U.S. Open, and I was talking to Joe Blackburn about having my wrap cleaned, and I said, you know, I just haven't done it, Joe, because I've been afraid it's going to get too slippery again. Mm-hmm. And I didn't care about making it nice and shiny and bright and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a double brown speck wrap because I got the Coca-Cola points. But Joe said, I can do that, and it'll look nice, but it'll feel the way it feels right now.
It's going to just burnish it, I guess. What did
He
he
said
do?
mild soap and water, he said, but he had a way to do it, to apply it, that...
I was going to let him do mine, I thought about it.
Well, there's no one that I'm going to let touch my cue but Joe Blackburn anyway.
Really?
Oh, I think that highly of him. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
He just put a tip on my cue today.
Yeah. But if you want your wrap cleaned, you can just tell Joe to what degree you want it done, and do you want it to look new again, or do you just want to get some of the dirt out of it? But he's got whatever he used on mine. I was really, really happy with both the appearance and the feel.
I got to get my shaft. I get my shaft. Right.
Oh, yeah, he's at his booth, right. Okay, yeah. Torsten 5-1 over Efren on table 2. And Torsten at the table. Chang Lin here. Looks like he's making his way through the 6th rack. Team play is going on in the BCAPL National 8-Ball Championships. It began yesterday. 5-player teams. Now, a lot of them bring 7 or 8 players, and they can only play 5 at a time, but they have alternates. And I'm going to guess there got to be 1,000 teams entered because it's a big money event. So right there, you've got at least 5,000 or 6,000 people that have infiltrated these rooms here in the last couple of days. And for those of you that haven't been to the Rio but have seen the World Series of Poker on TV and heard them talk about the Amazon room, etc., that's exactly where we are. We occupy the same space in 3 ballrooms that was used for the entire World Series of Poker, which ran, a month and a half before they got down to the final table players, who will return, I believe, in November. And this facility was completely recarpeted since we were here last year. It's really, really nice, well done. And it's a great venue for this event. The move here has been just terrific for CSI and especially for Bad Boys Billiard Productions and their management team, and being able to load in close to 300 pool tables. I mean, there's like 4 9-footers and 296 bar boxes with a light over every one of them. And each light's got to be hung individually. I mean, I think Rick Jones from Bad Boys, I'm not sure, I think they did take some time-lapse photography of, Justin might have been involved in that too, and maybe even Andy Chen, and taking some time-lapse photography of the load-in process. Hopefully they'll maybe get that up on YouTube or on the Bad Boys channel or someplace you can see it in the near future. It's quite a production. Well, Corey drew it straight into the corner pocket. And I would think solids are the group here because of the 2 stripes on the side rails near the side pockets. Probably start with the 3-ball if I got a pocket for it in the lower left. Might even move the 8 if he is inclined to do so, although the 8 has 2 corners to go in right now, but the 3 is definitely the ball to shoot. Six, 4, 7's the next 3. because then he can get out of traffic. I think the 7 only has the 1 pocket by the 6 ball. And then probably 1, 2, 5, I'm guessing. Well, didn't want it there. He's should be all right, but I mean, still he's got to elevate. Got to be careful you don't hit this right into the cushion. Sometimes if you don't put a good stroke on it, this can skid on you. Well, it still managed to drop it. It did graze the stripe, but he wanted to make sure he got the cue ball out, and he did that. So now he'll just pull it to the right a little bit. Probably 1 in the side, stop, 2, then 5, and 8. Cue ball right back where it is now. And game number 7. Chang Lin leads 4-3. Torsten's racking the balls on table 2. I'll give you the score of that in a moment as soon as he moves away from the scoreboard. It's either 6-2 or 7-1. It's 6-2. Torsten over Efren. We mentioned it yesterday, but I'll mention it just again in case you weren't with us at the time we talked about it. But all 4 Taiwanese players that are here all play with Southwest cues and real Southwests that were made in California by the Franklin family. And as a matter of fact, when they were here, I don't know if it was during this trip or when they came last year, because I talked to their interpreter quite a bit about this. They actually went to Southwest and met Laurie and the rest of the crew, and they got a tour of the factory. They saw how the cues were manufactured. It took like 20,000 pictures while they were there, and why wouldn't you? But they're big fans of the late Jerry Franklin's cues. And they all play with them. I didn't get a chance to ask them what they're using for break cues, but they all play with Southwests. And you've got Torsten and Jason Shaw who play with Lucassi's. Hybrids, I believe. Torsten's might be a custom. I'm not sure if it's a Lucassi custom, but I think Jason's is a hybrid. Bustamante still playing with a Bear cue that he started playing with in 1991. It's made in Germany. Corey with, like I said, cue he's had for many years. It's a the trade name, I don't know, it might be Woodpecker. It's got a CD emblem on it. He had his own line. Remember the 5280s he had for a while there too? I don't know if those were his or he just lent his name to it. Dennis playing, and I think Warren, Dennis definitely playing with a Tiger. I think Warren as well. Dennis's Tiger model is actually a Dennis or Cuyo model, if you've seen it advertised in some of the trade publications. There's two versions of it. It's the same cue with just different types of inlays, different materials. I actually did hit a couple balls with it when we were in New Jersey a few months ago and hit sweet. Mike, and of course, and Corey playing with OB shafts now. I think Mike's butt is OB as well. I'm not sure if Corey's just playing with an OB cue or just an OB shaft. But then maybe I'm just a little fooled because the cue he's playing with certainly looks familiar to me, and he's had it a long time. Wish there was a little bit more in the way of drama and excitement to talk about in the matches, but we've already covered that. So we're just sitting back and enjoying watching these guys run out. I mean, it's more really of an exhibition now than it is a tournament setting type match, but either way, it's enjoyable. We're 4-4 here after just a little under an hour's play. Efren's gotten 2 back on Torsten. It's 6-3 now. Efren just broke and they went nowhere. They went thud. You can take a look right there at the layout. It just either didn't hit him good or he didn't have him racked well, because those balls hardly moved. Yeah, 7-1-8. I'm not sure if the 8 goes through the gap here between the 2 stripes in the corner, but there's 4 or 5 other pockets for it. Not really a big deal. You can play it in the side off the 9 if you had to. Just picking the spot on the 1 ball. Thanks, Tim. Good camera shot. We can see it does pass. Maybe a little bit snug, but he'd be close enough to it that it wouldn't be an issue, especially if he's straight in on the 1 ball. He overcooked that. Now he's not going to have a shot at the 1 ball. Can you believe that? He went 1.5 feet too far. Now he's got to carom the 1 in off one of these stripes. Maybe do it off the 12 ball. Yeah, I think that's the best he can do. Well, that's surprising. He'd gone that far past the mark. He's called it off the 12 in the corner. He didn't have to say off the 12. All he had to say was the pocket. And looks good, looks good, looks good. Well, I see, Bobby, that they done give you the shaft.
Yep. Got me that medium. Just put the tip on.
Is that a black or a brown? I can't see.
Black.
Yeah, medium black. Got the clear pad underneath it, too. It's nice. Corey missed the 8-ball. And Chang Lin missed position. Bobby Cotton's over here just gushing over the shaft that he just picked up from Joe. Joe put a new Kamui on there and cleaned it up a little bit. Looks nice, feels nice. Corey made that sweet shot on the 1 carom off the 12. Of course, he blew the position badly to have to wind up doing it. And then he went ahead and gagged on the 8-ball.
All these 10-ball games and 9-ball games are for the youngsters, Ken. You know, it really is.
Well, it's a young man's sport. It
Well,
is.
but like, I can still play banks on 1 ball.
Well, sure.
But and bar tables, but 9-ball and these big tables, 10-ball, it's just too draining. You know, it's just draining.
Yeah, it's much more mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
Than physically exhausting. Apologize for
Yeah.
talking over the commercial there, guys. We weren't looking at the monitor, but I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, perfect example.
I
Look
mean,
at Efren. You know, he
Yeah,
missing balls he wouldn't miss in a million years.
but heck, even if you go, I mean, we have weekend tournaments. You know, once a month, 1 weekend a month at Hard Times, where I play in California, Northern California, and you might have a 48-man, 9-ball race to 7 double elimination tournament. it takes all of 2 days and into 3 in the morning on the last day, and you might play 9 matches, and you got to wait around an hour and a half at least in
So
between,
tiresome.
and you can't go nowhere because you don't know when your table's going to come up. That's why you know, tournaments are so difficult now, and unless, you know, they're at the structured pro level where everything's pre-timed and you know before you arrive, you know your match schedule, you can plan around it. But I mean, and of course when we were younger, we never wanted to leave the pool room anyway.
Yeah, well.
Now I can't wait to leave. To play my match and get out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But of course nowadays too, Cotton, there's so many better players, so many more of them, that you don't get a lot of easy stuff where you can relax a little bit during a match or two in a tournament setting. But I mean, you know, we go to the Derby every year, and you still see guys, not exactly young guys, playing 30-hour sessions.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they do it. I mean,
know how they do it.
well, there's a little artificial help probably, but you know, that's only going to last so long too, or you're only going to last so long.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, good shot. You know, he missed it. I wouldn't want to see, you know, any of that change. But if you're a young 20-something, you can play for 2 days in a row, and maybe hang in there, even on the natch a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know how these guys go 3 days with no sleep.
I'm telling you, I used to play when I was like in my 20s and even 30s. I could play for 3 and 4 days with no drugs.
Yeah.
Play hard. I mean, for like 70, 80 hours, easy. I've done it 1,000 times. Just on just adrenaline.
Did you? But you had to have some food or some drink along the way, right?
I would drink water.
Yeah, I don't mean.
Yeah.
You know.
And I wouldn't eat.
You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
You got to have a little bit of fuel in your system, you know.
No, I didn't. I was just
really?
I wouldn't even eat. Yeah.
Just the pure adrenaline, huh?
I can tell you 100 times where I played like for 3 days, you know. I used to like it too, boy. I used to like to play that long.
Yeah. Well, and
most
players,
now,
and I think it's still true today, if you're playing, you know, 8, 10, 12 hours, usually after 2 or 3 hours, then you really start to play better. The longer you play, the better you play.
Oh, yeah, you just get in the zone.
You just get into autopilot.
Yeah.
Muscle memory kicks in.
Yeah.
You don't even thinking anymore. You're just out there doing it.
I always got nervous when I first started a match, you know, gambling or whatever. I'd be nervous, but after like an hour, it don't matter.
Right.
You're like, nothing matters. The money don't matter. Nothing matters. You know, once you get going.
Yeah. Nice shot. Well, it's kind of, you know, I find the same thing when I go and practice straight pool. The first 2 racks are the hardest racks to run for me. You know, I get 30, 40, 50. It seems to get easier.
Yeah.
But, you know, getting in the 20s is sometimes it's a struggle just because I haven't played much. Your arm's not loose. You know, you're overthinking things. So I know what you mean. Efren closed the gap over there to 6-4. He was 6-1 down. He's at the table. And he just missed the stripe. Oh, boy. But,
He just missed. I mean, he's missing ball after ball. He's just missing balls. Unreal. Efren is. He don't want to come straight up. He's afraid of getting behind the 2. He's got to go. He's going to go backward.
I think he can hit it slow enough, maybe even graze the 12.
He's going this way, which is the way I like it. Yeah.
Well, it's got to get by there. It barely did. He's nice and straight in on the 2, right?
Yeah. He had a lot of options.
Yeah, if you can play position, excuse me, for more than 1 ball, by placing the cue ball in a certain spot, it certainly gets you out of some difficult situations. I don't know why I wouldn't just play the 3 here and move a little to the right, play the 2 in the side. It must be a funny angle, Bobby. Or you can go 3 rails around the 8 for the 2 in the side.
Exactly. This is no problem.
Yeah. I think he's just going to bunt it. He just didn't want to have too much angle and be head too far away from the 8. But I'm afraid he's done
Jerry's
that.
Last name?
Forsyth.
That's what. Yeah. And does he own AZ Billiards?
He's partners with Mike. They're the creators and inventors, and they've been there since day one. And I want to tell you something. I think AZ Billiards, watch this drift into this. Oh boy. And I know Jerry and Mike, and I know them a long time, and they're very close friends of mine. But I would say this even if I didn't know who they were. I think in their own way, what they've done for pool on their website is the equivalent of what Pat Fleming did with AccuStats for 30 years by bringing video to the pool world and letting everybody benefit their way.
I just wish they'd make people use their own name on there.
Well, I agree with that, but maybe this ain't the probably the time to have that debate, because there's no debate. I couldn't agree with you more. That's one of the things I don't like about any kind of a forum type situation or a chat situation where you can be anonymous and say a lot of things about things and people that are derogatory and mean-spirited, and would you say them to the man's face?
There's been a couple of comments about me, and I'm telling you, I know every pool player alive, and I try to be as nice and get along with everybody I see.
Well,
I really do.
But you can't please everybody.
I know,
I do too. But there's people that
But listen, when people get to ragging on you, they don't know you. That's upsetting a little bit.
Well, sure it is, because they don't know you. The people that know you have more of a right to do that. But before we can get back to that, let me just finish my point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this will happen. I don't know if I'll ever see it or if it would happen. But I think that Mike and Jerry deserve a place in the BCA Hall of Fame under the meritorious service category for their contributions to the sport through AZ Billiards. And that's just my personal feeling about it. Look, they've got, Pat Fleming, someone I've known 35 years, who I love like a brother, and who was a great, great player in his own right, but he never won, big-time titles. But in 2008, Pat Fleming was recognized for what he did for the sport, and they put him in the Hall of Fame. And then they put Terry Bell and Larry Hubbard, who created the APA, and they put them in the Hall of Fame a few years ago too. Again, under meritorious service for their contributions to the sport. And I just feel that Mike and Jerry are in that conversation. So, and I'm fortunate enough to be a voting member for the Hall of Fame. And I just recently started doing that a couple of years ago. But I just hope that someday they get the kind of recognition for their contributions, because what they do is it can be thankless, but I'm sure it does have its rewards. But what would the pool world be like if those two guys didn't ever come along? All right, maybe there'd be some other website that would, do some of the things they do, but they're kind of a one-size-fits-all. Yeah. And I really just wanted to voice my thoughts on how much respect I have for them and for what they do for our game. Okay, 7-4 on the outer table. Torsten up on Efren. Efren's breaking. Effort made a ball on the break. Needs to hit the 9. I think he got there. I think he got there. Maybe not. It's close.
No, he's making the face.
Yeah. Well, this guy's got a lot of magic in his cue. If he has to bend it a little bit, he might. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to elevate a little bit. Don't twist it. No good. Too much. He overcooked it.
I wouldn't shoot this ball.
Yeah, I would have shot the other stripe up there on the left and come
then
straight up the table for the 10.
Shot that one next.
Yeah.
But he's confident. He knows he ain't going to miss it. But
We're just afraid of long shots at our age,
no,
Bob.
but I tell you what, you know what, no matter what, here's my theory on that 8 ball. You got 4, 5, 6 balls. I'm cinching the first ball and then maneuvering around and getting position on the next one. I'm never going to take a little bit harder shot when I have a ball I can cinch.
Look what he just did here. Now, he was supposed to be in the middle of the table and shoot the 9 in the corner.
Yeah, I mean,
He drew that ball 3 feet too far. And slowly but surely, the magician has climbed back into things over there. It's 7-5 now. He just broke and ran. Of course, Torsten's playing with absolutely no pressure on him. He knows he's already through to the semifinals, but
what do you mean he's already through?
he won the group. He won this group.
Oh,
He's 2-0. He can't be caught.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
That's a nice shot there by Mr. Chang.
You got a little bit of a roll there. Nice.
Yeah, well, you make a good shot, good things happen. Just like you kick at a ball and you hit it, you know, tough kick, you hit the ball and then you wind up safe. I mean, I think that's part of the reward for the shot. Doesn't always work out that way, but he's worried about hitting the deuce here. I don't think he's going to. But maybe it's fuller than it appears. Well, obviously it is, or he'd already been shooting.
Overcut it with inside, you'll miss a deuce. Throw it to the
Yeah,
hole. Throw it to
yeah,
the
it
hole.
throws it to the hole.
Throw
Yeah,
it to the hole, a little
Yeah.
top left. You'll miss a deuce, a half inch.
yeah.
But this is all right too if you can draw. If you don't have to, you can draw back.
It's 6-5 now for Chang Lin. And you know, he doesn't have the balls racked properly because he's got solids in both corners, but I'm not going to go bother him because this match doesn't really mean anything. If there was something at stake tournament-wise, we'd go correct that. But at this point, like I said, it's more of an exhibition, so let's let them have fun out there and stay out of their way. Well, he slugged him.
No doubt what I'm doing here. If I can hit the 4. He can't hit the 4, can he? No.
No. He could shoot the 5 if he wants solids.
If he's going to shoot the 4, I'm going to these balls.
Well, yeah, but the deuce goes, but you got to move the 12 because the 8 don't go, but you could move it if you shot the 2.
I'm opening them up right now.
Yeah, I think that's okay, but I wouldn't hit it too firm because I wouldn't want the 8 to come too far. You know, I just want to get 6 inches to a foot of separation there. And also, you got to make sure when you hit this, you don't hit it to where the 12 covers up the 2. Meanwhile, Efren the Magician is back alive again. It's now 7-6, and Efren's going to break. He missed them all together, but he may have not. Maybe
no, he wasn't trying to hit him.
Yeah, I don't think he was either, because I think he can move the 8 right here off the cushion, and he's going to have insurance with the 6 and the 1, and plus the 5's hanging underneath his body. So I think he just come off the rail a little bit here and tap the 8, just enough to clear it from the 12. And maybe, yeah, I still think that's the best approach. Old Bato over there put a little life back in the crowd now. Now they're starting to pull for him. Not that they weren't before, but I think they were just a little feeling bad for him. That's nicely done there. 6 stop. Maybe pull it back a little so you can shoot the 1 and hold there for the 3. And then 5 and maybe the 7 for the last ball. Well, yeah, he's going to do the shoot the 7 to get down table for the 1 and the 3. Sure, that's fine too. That's actually probably even better than the way I looked at it. That needs to go.
Underhit it about 3 miles.
Yeah, he ain't shooting this in the side and holding the cue ball. Not without running into something. I don't even know if he can play it in the corner and go forward with the side pocket there. I think what this is just a case of, you know, they're not mentally real sharp and focused because they realize they're just kind of playing the string out here. They both want to win and they're both trying, but sometimes
it goes in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't know if he could get the cue ball past the side pocket. Obviously he did, and there's nothing wrong with this. You can just kick these in. And it's going to be 7-5.
I'm worn out, buddy.
Yeah, I am kind of looking at not much gas left in the tank. We got one more day to go, Cotton, and I know we'll get through it. Of course, it'll be a little more exciting tomorrow. We'll have, you know, 2 big matches in the morning to finish out the group stages and then the semis and the finals. But I am looking forward to sleeping in my own bed Saturday night, I'll tell you that. How far drive you got from here to home?
About 20 minutes.
That's not bad. You got to go on the interstate, or do you take the back roads?
Either way.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the interstate since there's no traffic.
Yeah. Efren's at the table. He's got a chance to knot that thing up. And all of a sudden, there's like 150 people over there watching, you know?
Yeah.
There weren't when it was 6-1. But all of a sudden, like, what a surprise. Efren draws a crowd. And what a surprise here. Corey draws it into the side pocket.
Straight in the side.
Yep. Your worst nightmare. And now
this is a little...
Chang Young Lin has an opportunity to get on the heel.
I'm shooting the 4.
He's in the way. I got to see the rest of the layout. It's definitely solids.
Yeah, I don't know. The 6 is, I mean, the 7's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Can he actually get the cue ball in there to make the 4?
I think so, but I don't know what.
Because he's got to hold it right there for the 1.
I like the stripes here, I think. I changed my mind. I like the stripes. If he's going to move the 4
because as long
right
as
here.
he can move the 4 right here, of course you want the stripes. Because look at the way
about
they're
this.
sitting.
I was just looking at those balls, and here the 9 and the.
Yeah, but the 10 can get him there. He can come across the table.
Yeah.
Even the 2's in the not blocking that pocket, but they both go in the other one. Yeah, I like the 15 in the side next, and then the 10 slide over for the 2 balls behind the spot, and then the ball in the side, which is the 12, to get him to the 8.
He's got to shoot the 12 now.
No, he can't shoot the ball in the side. Just the 15.
I don't know.
We're the one right near the cue ball.
Pretty thin cut, ain't it?
Okay, maybe it's thinner than I see.
Yeah, it looks it's
okay.
pretty thin. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. I thought he was straighter in on it. Play for the 9 here. Hard to tell if he can shoot the 9. If the other one goes, it's a cupcake. But I think he's shooting the 9.
It's close. Shot there, boy.
Nice, yeah, very nice.
10 and the 14 or 15.
Yeah, 15 to go to the 8. Bounce out of 2 feet.
I'd have been 2 feet closer.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went that far.
I went that far.
I mean, I don't think it's an issue.
It don't matter, but
he just looks far. Yeah, well, you put yourself back in line like that, it don't matter.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry to say, too, that Bata missed over there, and Torsten's at the table now with a chance to get to the hill. 8-6, and this is going to put Yang and Chang on the hill at 8-5. So either way, Bobby, these are both going to probably be done in the next 10, 15 minutes at the most. Looks like we'll finish up within our time frame tonight and get out of here early as we can. Looks like Torsten's got this 1 solid left and then the 8 ball, but he's only got 1 pocket for the 8, so this is over and back. Not 3 rails, I think it's over and back with low right, just like that. Perfect speed. And this will put him on the hill. So 8-6 for Torsten, with him breaking to win the match. And 8-5 here for Chang Yong Lin, also breaking for the match. 11 ball. No. Well, he made one anyway, and the 11 did get kicked in. I kind of like the solids just because of the
I'd shoot the 5 and
14 ball. Yeah, I'd shoot the 5 and move the stripe.
hit the 5 and on the deuce and hit the 14 back of the head.
Yeah.
If a minute's there to
Yeah.
connect the dots.
Now he could actually play the 15 and slide across and play the 14 in the same pocket and
True.
take the stripes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's actually looking at.
I think so too. I think so too. Either ball's nice, but the stripes is nice if he can get that 14 out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is, yeah, the 14. Then it's like bing, bang, boom here.
Right. Yeah, I like this play better than solids.
Yeah, I believe so too. And he got right on the money where he needed to be.
That he did. Might have to snatch it out with low left, spin to the center of the table where he could shoot the 9 or the 13 next. It looks like he's got just a slight bit of the off angle here where it's too risky to go forward and get caught up in the corner, but that's what he's doing. If he pops it a little bit, he'll change the angle. Yeah, that's fine.
Bounce.
He wanted to be straight.
He needed to float down there on that 12, and now he's got to where he might not can get there. He could
Yeah.
just shoot this in and stop, draw back, and shoot the 9 next.
Yeah, if he can pinch hold it, I think that's the plan.
goes in the
you
corner
you
or
can
the
play it
side.
in the corner up there. You got the 2 for a sideboard. Yeah,
Like
I
that.
like that. I like that very
Perfect.
much. Now it's just routine.
Cannot believe I'm gonna take off after this one little game here.
I think that's fine, Mr. Bobby. You go right. You
Alright.
go right ahead. You gotta at least go to your car, get in it, start it up, cool
Yeah.
it down, and all of that.
Still
so
110 out probably.
yeah, at least.
It was so hot going home last night. I was like a furnace.
I know. It's hard to
I mean,
believe
it's like
it.
a furnace.
Yeah.
It was like 105 at
I
midnight.
checked my phone about 11:30 last night. It said 106.
Well, I'm
Alright.
signing off, Ken. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
All
Mr.
right,
Bobby
buddy. I
Cotton.
enjoyed it once again.
Thanks, pal. See
I'll
you tomorrow
see you
morning.
tomorrow. See you in
Okay.
the morning.